Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. It's Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So today I am reacting because season 4 of Love and Marriage Huntsville is back. The premiere episode just came on an hour and a half ago, and we are going to get into it. But first and foremost, OMG. I have one in the background, this Marry Me Now show and own, and we have to stop. Like I tweeted on Twitter, we have to stop the ultimate pick-me extravaganza. And this is a show devoted to women who are planning their wedding unbeknownst to their man and demanding on the spot that he marries them. What is going Listen, you guys, if it has been a certain time frame, like literally 2 to 3 years, and there's no proposal, there's no marriage in sight, like you have your answer. If you have somebody dragging their feet, like you have their answer of what it is. Don't embarrass yourself on national television. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Please do not. So there's that. So back to Love and Marriage Huntsville. OMG, I'm happy if Mel and Martell are not filming scenes together this season because it's just going to make him look like a hot mess and Mel is unbothered and moving forward and everything else. So hopefully that is the case because Martell is still obsessed. Episode starts off with, TISHA and MARSAU, and it's all a mess. You know, they're goofing about him posting the picture of all the guys in Atlanta, and TISHA keeps throwing in these jabs about Martell's side chick, but then she was throwing in jabs about Mel, which I had a problem because some people are trying to make it seem like Mel is the issue, but she's not the issue. TISHA has been doing this since the show has started. She has been getting in her little jabs about Mel and about the fact that Martell was cheating on her and then wants to cry wolf when Mel started going back at her. But she has no problem, TISHA has no problem throwing rocks and hiding her hands. And she literally was, voicing verbatim the side chick's posts, verbatim things that, the side chick said to Tasha K. But then she says in the next breath, oh, I don't look at social media. Girl, bye. You're all up under the social media. You can't get enough because you care what people think about you. Which is why you and MARSAU keep doing this press tour on social media, trying to flip the narrative, trying to blame Melody and all these other people for the real edit that you guys are going to be getting this season. And I can't wait for it. I was a little skeptical about where this season was going to go. But if it's all about exposing MAURICE and MARSAU, I am here for all of it. Here for all of it. So then Martell is working out with Tiffany's husband and, he's all trying to talk about Mel and trying to say, oh, she cheated too and blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. If Mel thought she was getting a divorce and she moved out and everything else, thought that things were moving forward and she was done, how does one situation compared to Martell's years of cheating and multiple pregnancies that his side chick had? How does one situation where Mel was moved out in her own place, expected to divorce or in the process of a divorce or legally separated or whatever, after years of Martell's cheating, a comparison? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And now all of a sudden, Martell thinks he's vindicated and thinks that he is embracing this villain role and this and that. And it's just annoying. And he's trying to downplay, the influence of the picture. He knew what he was doing. You knew what you guys were doing. You guys knew. It's all orchestrated. It's all orchestrated. And I see through the BS. I see through all of it. So next we get into Kimmy and Maurice, and she's up here talking about she's getting another dog because that and her son are the only people that give her unconditional love. Kimmy, girl, what are you doing? Why are you still married to Maurice for? Like, why? What are you doing? And then the biggest issue I had this episode is how Kimmy is trying to minimize, like I said on Twitter, she is trying to minimize and, you know, categorize dating versus being married and versus being engaged. You know, that really cheating's not a big deal unless you are legally husband and wife. No. Cheating and incapacity. If you are in a committed relationship, it's cheating. You may have not been husband and wife at that point in time, but you very much were serious and supposed to be exclusive together. So now you're saying that that's a pass? See, the problem is when women do that, when they try to diminish cheating and try to categorize it into what they think is and isn't cheating, is when you know you are with a cheater and he is going to continue to cheat and talk in circles like Maurice did tonight. And Kimmy said that he told her that Maurice said that if she asks him a direct question, he'll give her a direct answer. No, that's that lawyer nonsense. No. He should be able to give you an answer whatever you ask him. Not these semantics, oh, that wasn't really a direct question, so therefore, I'm not going to answer you. That's your spouse. What do you mean you're not going to answer? She wants to know if you were cheating, if you were sleeping with the linebackers. What is so hard to understand? What is so hard to compute? Make it make sense. Kimmy is an intelligent woman, and I refuse to believe that she is going to stick around in this marriage with a cheater. Please tell me that's not the case. Please tell me that you are not doing this. Because now this puts back into question wife number one, Kawhi, and Maurice, and the Kimmy timeline. If you are going to diminish when this Atlanta trip was and say, oh, we were just, you know, dating then or whatever. And it's sad that Mel had to correct Kimmy and say, no. You guys were pretty serious at that point in time. This wasn't like, oh, hey, we just met, we only went out on a couple of dates sort of thing. No. You guys were in the thick of things in your relationship at that point. So no, it's not okay. But MARSAU knew what he was doing posting that picture. He posted that picture for a couple of reasons, because he was tired of being the person that was exposed. So he wanted to throw his brother under the bus. And so now we're going to have a season of them going back and forth of whose dirty laundry is dirtier, essentially, is where we're heading. But it is karma to the both of them, because they wanted to sit there and act like they were pillar of good men while all of Martell's stuff was out in the streets, and they wanted to gaslight Mel and try to convince Mel to stay with Martell, that it wasn't an issue, and blah, 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 blah. And now look what's happening. Now your house of cards is coming down. But at the end of this, if Kimmy stays with Maurice, I'm side-eyeing her, because you have too much going for yourself, being a nurse, getting into this real estate stuff and all this other things. Like, you do not have the time or the energy to be wasting your time with a cheater. I'm sorry. It's not that serious. And now more and more, I am concerned about who's footing the bill for everything. Like, did you foot the bill for Maurice to go to law school? Are you footing the bill for this new business venture you got going on? Because it seems like Maurice is getting more out of this than you are. To the point that you have to get yourself another dog. And, what is up with these Scott men? Maurice is up here bragging that he takes a solo trip to Africa, doesn't take his wife, doesn't take his kids, who would have loved that, who would have had the experience of a lifetime to go to Africa. Do you know how many people would love to go to the motherland. And then brags about the fact that his cell phone didn't work. Red flags galore. And of course, TISHA doesn't care. TISHA is those women who's like, oh, as long as he's still my husband, you know, I don't care. As long as he doesn't disrespect me, I don't care what he does. No. You look like a fool, girl. You look like an absolute fool. And how do you know there wasn't a side chick there? How do you know that he didn't take one of his 20 girlfriends with him to Africa? And conveniently, his phone didn't work the whole time. And you had to take a trip away from your wife and kids for you to realize you needed to be more present? What? Stop it. Stop it. It's all bogus. And then they're going back and forth over, you know, Maurice basically saying they need an assistant, they need a chief of staff, but it can't be a male. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Just bring in another mistress right under your nose, TISHA. And she keeps saying, oh, I'm going to have a say. I'm going to lay down the law. No, you're not. And the nerve to talk about, oh, well, we're going to hire somebody that's older, an older woman. TISHA, do you know Arnold Schwarzenegger? Do you know him and his ex-wife, Maria Shriver? Do you know why they got a divorce? Because he has a love child with his maid, who was, quote, older, or considered somebody that, oh no, my husband wouldn't cheat with that. Literally, the side chick of Martell is telling you the type of women that MARSAU is into, and you want to hire them. Make it make sense. Just bring all the girlfriends to the home. Why not, TISHA? You might as well, the way that you're behaving. So then we go into Destiny and her awful music that she is doing now. And I have to say this. All these people that have all this smoke for Mel, you guys are following her blueprint down to a T. You are copying every single thing that she is doing, every single move. Any type of entrepreneurship, any type of songs, any type of lines coming out. You are copying every single thing that Mel has been doing the past few years, yet you want to shade her on social media. Make it make sense. The problem is you want Mel to be bothered by you, and she doesn't care about you because you showed your behind. So that's why she's making her own moves. She films with who she feels comfortable filming with, and she's going to keep it moving, and that's going to be on that. But the sound of Destiny sounded awful. Just awful. It was not a Destiny at all. It was a tragic destination where that song was heading, and it needs to stay away from our airwaves. OMG. What was that, you guys? Melody at least can sing. Melody can hold a note. She can carry a tune. Whatever that was that Destiny had happening was not it. And it needs to, cancel, abort mission, stop the press, stop the madness. And they really tried to dress it up too with like the studio being all high tech and all this and that. No. That doesn't gloss over for a voice that is awful singing. Stop it. So anyways, her and TISHA meet up, and of course the conversation is about who? Melody. And, they're up here talking about how Mel caught them gossiping about her in a hotel room because apparently Mel's hotel wasn't too far from theirs. And, basically Destiny tries to downplay it and says that, oh, it was nothing that, hasn't already been said. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, girl, bye. And then TISHA calls it childish that Mel heard them. So it's childish that the person that you are gossiping about hears what you're saying about them and no longer wants to mess with you and no longer wants to be your friend. What makes that childish? What's childish is you claiming to be repairing things with Melody and then gossiping about her behind her back. That's not the same energy, Tisha. This is what I mean when you throw rocks and hide your hands, and I'm so sick of it. That's why I cannot wait for all this exposure this season, because you guys are all getting exposed. You guys think that your mess doesn't stink and nothing's going to happen to you, and your house and your home is nothing but faithfulness and roses and flowers, and it's all going to come crashing down. And Miss Destiny, who wanted to act like she was rolling in the dough this whole time on the show and was buying vacations, buying honeymoons for people, now all of a sudden is struggling financially, is taking government assistance to help take care of herself and her child, is asking her father for money and this and that to help pay her bills. Life really humbles you. Life really humbles you. Pride comes before the fall. Because Destiny didn't have the same energy before. And we already know that Love and Marriage Huntsville checks are not that big. Unless you're Melody and Martell. So, there's that. This isn't Bravo money. This isn't, Candy Burris getting paid nearly $2 million, for 20 episodes. That Owen's not rolling in the dough like that. So, just embarrassing all the way around. Completely and utterly embarrassing all the way around. So, then we go back, and we now have another Scott brother on the show. Like, it's all a train wreck, you guys. It is all a train wreck. No, it is not Mark, the one who allegedly was hooking up with Melody's mother, who continues to slander Melody on the internet. He still is looking for his cameo appearance on Love and Marriage Huntsville, but we are going to get every single other Scott brother in existence except for Mark. Because he's been muzzled for now. But now he's back, now that the show is coming back on. So there's that. But we're going to be now immersed in all of these brothers except for Mark that appears now. And I just can't take it. I cannot. It's enough already. It's enough with the dramatics. So now we have this big dinner where, there's supposed to be this big, back and forth with the Scotts and their spouses. So in comes Maurice and Kimmy. And they're having like a triple dinner date with Marceau and TISHA, as well as, their brother Micah and his wife. And it's all a hot mess. They get straight to the point about why did Marceau post this picture. Marceau's talking in semantics, talking about, oh, I thought it would be like, because you're there too, that's confirming that we were all there. Not that it was going to come and blow back on me. Come on, Marceau, you knew what you were doing. You wanted the attention of being seen, of being there in the midst of the cheating with Martell, and you all stayed at the same Airbnb. You are all giving the side chick validity to her story. The side chick, the peasant, the Honda Accord, the, groupie hoe that Melody said today in the song Down, is many things, but she's at least accurate about this cheating story. Because you guys were low-key going back and forth with your innuendos on what you guys did and how much you did and didn't know about the alleged festivities. And it's all going to come out. It's all going to come out and it's all going to come crashing down. And then Maurice is getting buck and he's all like, well, there's more things I know that I could allude to, that I could say, but I'm not going to right now. Ooh. Like, it was just a hot mess. And TISHA completely folded once again when the spotlight was right on her for her to voice her feelings, voice her concerns, how she felt about, once again, another rumor potentially exposing Marceau once again, and she's all trying to double down like, I don't look at the internet, I don't look at the comments, only if I'm in the mood. And I'm like, really, TISHA? Because you don't have that same energy like 99.9% of the other times. That was your one opportunity to say, hey, I feel disrespected. I feel humiliated. I feel like you basically were confirming you were cheating with Martel Holt. But that will never come out of Tisha's mouth because she doesn't have the balls to do so. So there's that. So Kimmy was the one who had all the energy. And I was here for it. She was taking MARSAU to task about posting that picture, about, you know, what the uproar it was going to cause, all the damage that it was going to cause to both of their marriages, and how more cheating allegations and speculation was going to ensue as a result of that. And MARSAU's all trying to play dumb and trying to double down. It is just all a disaster. It is all a disaster, and I cannot wait for more exposures to happen. And I hope the exposures of one of these alleged mistresses and the alleged tea that makes the show at some point this season as well. But then MARSAU was going on this little rant in his confessional about being, you know, back in 3rd grade and how he can battle the people on social media. No. This isn't a battle. This is your real life and real things that are being exposed. And Tisha's up here talking about no proof, no evidence, but the evidence was there in the pudding. That basically confirms that it was a guy's weekend. It basically confirms, it gives validity to what the side chick's saying. That they basically went on a cheating trip and she took the picture. And allegedly where the linebackers were. So there's that, but it's just all a hot mess. The other thing that happened in the episode was Mel took Kimmy out, and, you know, wanted to, you know, basically see how she's doing in terms of the picture and the rumors and everything that was alleged after that. And so Kimmy, you know, was trying to downplay it, was like, well, technically we were just dating at that point and blah, 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 blah. And it was just all bad. So, From there, Mel says, you know, basically she reiterates the hotel room gossip story, that how she heard Tisha and how she heard Destiny talking about her and how she had knocked on the door and then Destiny was being fake about everything and trying to make it seem like everything was cool. And then they went out to eat back in, you know, Huntsville, and Destiny confirmed that, you know, her and Tisha were gossiping about her. And Mel had heard the comment that Tisha said, well, you know, Mel's a Scorpio and all this other stuff. So Mel basically told Destiny to her face that she was done with her. And I don't blame Mel. I don't blame Mel at all. It's not a situation of whether or not you're friends with somebody that she doesn't fool with. But when you're gossiping about her with the friend that she doesn't fool with, then I have to cut you loose. Because now you're not my friend anymore. Now you're being messy with that person. And Destiny's trying to turn it around and make it seem like, oh, you know, all Mel's friendships end up like this and blah, 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 blah. The reason why she's not friends with most of the cast is because most of the cast have been messy and actively partaking in trying to bring up this side chick every which way that they can to humiliate and hurt Melody further. That's the reason Melody isn't fooling with these people. And really, she only deals with Kimmy because Kimmy keeps it 100. But as for everybody else at one point in time has been fake or has been two-faced to Melody. Wants to use Melody for her connections, for all the things that she's got going on, all the things that she's booked and busy for, but then behind their back, they're kikiing and talking trash about her. But then they want to play victim and say, oh, it's childish in front of the cameras when we see everything that's documented. So which is it? You can't throw rocks and hide your hands on reality TV. It's not going to happen. Everything is documented. There is receipts upon receipts of Tisha always being messy. She was even messy at the beginning of the episode talking about Mel. So it was already, all the evidence was already laid out there of how she was moving. So there's that. So ultimately, I am concerned though, because when they show the previews for this season, it looks like something is going to potentially lead to violence. And I was hoping that this show did not go the ratchet route, did not go the love and hip hop route. I was really hoping for that wasn't the case, but it seems like there's going to be a heated argument of some sort later in the season amongst the ladies, and I'm just not here for it. Also, there's like a slumber party that Mel is planning where she invites Kimmy, but doesn't want Destiny or, Tisha there. But it looks like Tisha's cousin or somebody attends on her behalf and is there to trash talk. So it's all going to come to a head. Also, it's going to be more of the MAURICE versus MARSAU drama, to where they're again trying to air each other out and who owes who an apology and who's the bigger cheater between the two and this and that. So it's going to be fun in that regard to see them go back and forth with this drama. And this is why we do not need the side chick on the show, because she gives everything up for free like she did to Martell. So, once again, but hopefully now we can move forward into other storylines and not have this interview be the focus of everything. Now we can deal with the match that was lit and move forward. So, we will see what happens from there, and take it a day at a time and see where this season heads. What did you guys think of this episode? Did you guys watch it yet? But I'm hoping that, Martell stops this obsession with Mel. And to complain about not seeing the kids as often, well, that's what happens when you get a divorce. And that's what happens when you are out here cheating on your wife and your penis is outside of the household. That's what takes place. You get to now see your kids less of the time. So there's that. But let me know your guys' thoughts. What did you guys think on the premiere episode? Do you think this season is going to be good? Do you think the season is going to pick up? What are your guys' thoughts on everything? Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys again very soon.